All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer with Brandman Brandon down here, Brian the Grizzly over there, and we are going to talk about Bel-Air Season 2. All finished up. We all watched it eventually. We all got caught up. So we're gonna talk about the entire season. So if you haven't watched it or hasn't finished watching it, spoilers, because we're gonna talk about everything. But we'll do some of the good, some of the bad, and then give our rating of the season itself. But I have Brandon start off, and then we'll go around the horn. So, what are some good things you liked about this season, or just some parts or ideas or whatever?
Well, there's definitely no shortage of drama on this season.
Yeah.
Like that, it's drama AF just at every turn with every character. No, that's like I've said in the past. That's one of my favorite things about it. The direction they decided to go, rather than just making a carbon copy of the original, because really they couldn't. Um, I like how Will progressed as a character between season one and this season. He was a lot more mature, a lot more voice of reason, a lot less rash than he was in the first season. So to see where he's at now as a character was one of my favorite things about it.
Mm.
It did good developing him as a character. The way things kind of went with this season, it kind of feels like they're going to do the same thing with Carlton moving forward. Everyone kind of progresses as characters, which is great. So it just really had my attention the entire way through. And I'm not really much of a drama guy, admittedly. It's probably one of my least favorite genres. But this one really worked for me, I thought.
Yeah. Okay. Any like scenes that you liked in particular, like that were like, oh damn, that was good, or that was deep, or something like that?
Pretty much any scene where Will was looking out for Carlton, and Carlton was kind of being kind of smart alecky about it, or just kind of being Carlton. But I thought that those were some of my favorite character moments, because like I said, it showed how much Will has kind of progressed as a character, which was great to see.
Yeah.
The last 5 minutes of the season finale just kind of really grabbed me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it had me wanting more. I'm interested to see how and where they move with that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So those were like two of my main things.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
I felt like Carlton seemed like he was going in the right direction and it was going great, and then he just totally unraveled. So like a character development, can you imagine like you see a complete arc and the guy is finally becoming where he's supposed to become, and then unravels it before your very eyes. I feel like that's exactly what Carlton did.
Mm-hmm.
Will is a child, so he's going up and down, up and down. He's trying to get to where he's trying to go. It's a boat on the in the middle of the ocean. He's going up and down. He's going to do some good stuff, do some bad stuff, but it always comes down. I think I know better. Oh man, I don't know better. Man, Uncle Phil, you were right. It's just like literally over and over the same story in every aspect of his life. That's what he's doing. But everyone is going through these things. I mean, even the stuff with I think he made a bad choice between Lisa and Jackie. I would have went Jackie, man. F that. Me personally, I would have went Jackie. I was like, I could deal with it. I mean, even what they showed about what Doc. They showed like, though he looks like a dick and he's like a bad guy, he really wasn't the bad guy.
Yeah,
he's the lesser of two evils. He was really giving them those. He doesn't understand. He didn't understand because he had all these opportunities that these other guys don't have the opportunities. He's the only one out there providing these opportunities for these guys, and that's a lot of life. When you're in a poor neighborhood and your life is my only way out is by this sport or whatever it is, that is literally your life. And it's literally your only way out. Yeah. And because you can afford to be holier than thou. You think that you're all this greatness, but it's not really that. You're not. Don't realize this guy's providing an opportunity that wouldn't be there for anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it shows the gray area, of these characters, which is really good.
Mm-hmm. That's where a lot of them are right in the gray area.
Life is a gray area, right? And that's what you have to understand. And a lot of them are living in that gray area. I love the Founders Award stuff, even though I thought he should have shut the F up and took it, and you could admit to your family at home, bro. Like, what? You ain't got to tell everybody in the whole school about your business. You know, I think that's something someone told me a long time ago. It's like, there's things you keep to yourself. You know, what goes on at your home, things that you're doing in your private, the things that happen in your family, you keep to yourself and keep it within this family, in these four walls. You ain't got to, air all your dirty laundry out on the streets for everyone else who don't care about you. And I didn't understand that. I was like, why the hell are you saying this to everybody else? Shut the F up, apologize to Ashley at home, and tell your parents the truth then. You ain't got to do it in front of everybody, embarrass everybody else.
Yeah. The only thing I would give it, like, he was high. So obviously he wasn't in the right state of mind. But this also isn't the first time he's done that. So
he lives high.
Yeah, true. That's his normal state.
Yeah, that's his normal state of being. So like, you didn't make any bad decisions because you're high. You made a bad decision because you're trying not to be high. Like just know that you keep your personal stuff personal sometimes, because it doesn't just affect you; it affects everyone in the family. For a show that's all about family, I thought that was kind of weird that he did that, and I don't think that's an actual thing that would have happened. So I mean, just. Those were things I saw. Once again, we still had some characters that did not really do much. Ashley didn't really go anywhere. Viv had her little thing, so she's having her own side thing. Jeffrey's still the dude. Like him and Phil had that falling out, but Jeffrey still came back, as a badass. And I can't wait to see more about what's going on with him and his son and what's happening. So that's a very interesting little thread, and I'm really looking forward to Carlton, having to go to JUCO and still reaching his all the possibilities he has. Like he's going to have to deal with the whole senior year, going to rehab, but still trying to reach his goals. Or does this huge thing for the Founders Award keep him from being a lawyer or a judge or any of those things because he made a decision at the age of 16? And that's why I think sometimes you should shut your damn mouth and just went on. But this is a very real series, real consequences, and that's what made me enjoy it.
Yeah. I think because we started doing weekly ones, and then I don't think we weren't getting the views. People tend to leave right at the end. So we kind of stopped, and then I think I went on vacation. I stopped watching for a little bit, but I think the season started off good. It had a few bumps. I felt like the actual protest was like the actual thing. I don't know. Like it was okay. I didn't hate it, but it seemed different from everything else, all the other episodes. But then the next episode after that, it was just right back into what we're used to. So I was like, okay, whatever. They were maybe trying something different or trying a different vibe because of the tone of the realness of what the protest is and stuff like that. But yeah, it just it was very much like season one, where it was like, we got stuff, and then they get better, and then they got worse, and then they got better, and then the big setup. And this one had at the end, great setup for everybody, not just Will, because at the end of season one, it was just Will, what's gonna happen with him. This is like everybody, from Ashley to who she might have a crush on, to Viv and Phil and Will and all that stuff. So I was like, really, really cool. But I just they fixed the drama from season one, which I like, and then there's new drama, So I'm like, okay, you fixed that problem, and now you have the next problem, which I'm okay with. Because then if a problem stays a problem for too long, it gets boring, it gets uninterested. It's like I don't care at that point. So the whole son thing, he met him, he fixed him, this and that, and now there's another problem. So because but it makes sense too. It was like, there's a reason why you should not have met your son. What I mean? Now your son's gonna find out why you left him in the first place. Why you had to be away from each other.
And we'll find out what Phil did to keep him safe.
Yeah. So all of it, even Will, I thought was a good change at the end. But there's some times when Will was just like
annoying as hell.
Oh, annoying as hell. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, especially towards the end where he finds out all the truth and everything like that, and he just like unloads on everybody. Like, I'm like, dude, like I didn't like that, but in the same, I believe it was the same episode, it follows up when he calls his mom, and then you're like, oh, it's because you have daddy issues, dude. Like, then it kind of like it made a little bit more sense. I was like, okay, you're looking for that father figure, but the problem is once he has a father figure, he doesn't want to be treated like a kid.
Yep.
So it was like, so like Phil is his father figure, but he gives him rules, he gives him restrictions, he gives him advice, he tells him, no, you can't do this. And Will is not used to that. So he's like, he gets mad. So,
he wants to rebel off him.
Yeah. So instead he goes for the people who give him the easy answers and give him the easy, stuff that he wants to hear, like somebody like Doc. So it went from annoying where I'm like, all right, you're super fucking annoying, to like, oh, okay, so you're annoying because there is a bigger issue in your life. So I liked how they did that, where you get frustrated with him and then you remember, oh, he's a kid without a dad and he's got, daddy issues, which, I mean, I know it sounds like silly what people say, but it's a real thing, especially when you don't grow up with a dad and then you find him and you find out he's a dick. And there's a lot of stuff going on in Will's, life right there.
Chill, I was thinking the exact same thing as Tank was talking.
Does Will have? Yeah. How come you don't
want me, man?
He said that. He said that. He goes, what's wrong with me? Like it was like something like that from the original one.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the same feel as what Will Smith said it.
No.
That's something iconic. But he still, I actually disagree with Brandon in that. I actually feel that Will has not matured that much. That he is very charismatic. People like him. He knows the right thing to say. I don't believe he's matured at all because he just has a likable personality. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he gets away with it because he's good looking. He's good at basketball. He's smart. He has all these talents that he hasn't hit the wall. Carlton's hit the wall
multiple times,
and that's why I kind of enjoy seeing that. And it's so weird because Uncle Phil has Will's back, right? But his own son, he ain't got his back, not nearly as much.
Yeah,
and I always thought that was very strange. It's like they enjoy Will. They're under the spell of Will, with not understanding what's going on with Carlton. And I can't wait to see what they do in the next season. And honestly, I don't see this show going past 4 seasons at the most. At the most. 3rd season might be the end, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't see it goes past high school for them.
I could see it, but
which I'd be fine with. It's good to know when to stop. And that shows have a shelf life.
Yeah.
I mean, the original one only had 5 seasons, guys.
Really? It seemed way longer. Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, with a sitcom, you're able to maybe do that a little bit more because you can have random episodes and drag out things, but something like this kind of style of a show, like there's a story that you're telling and it needs to have an end, where the original one or any sitcom, you can just let it go until it's ending time and they're like, well, we're not renewed, so we're all saying goodbye.
I think it's 6 seasons. It's 6 seasons.
6 seasons?
6 seasons.
Okay, still.
But it wasn't a lot. It's only 148 episodes. It's only 6 seasons. I think this is one of those things, like when they go to college, they go off to college. Because Jackie's already there. Jackie's already there in high school, so she's not gonna come from Philly. Like, there's not gonna be much of a storyline going to college. And does he play basketball? He probably will play basketball now. With this whole thing that how they said it with Doc and him joining the team again and all those opportunities. So like, I feel like high school is really the main thing, and you don't want to go too far. You don't want to be Stranger Things with Taylor McLaughlin being 35 years old with 4 kids. You don't need him being acting to be a 17-year-old. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Know when to just call it.
I can see that. I can see that. I don't know if that'd be considered a bad thing, but we'll get into some of the bad stuff now with Brandon. What didn't you like about the season? Any like annoying parts?
I know that I mentioned that it was heavy on the drama, which kind of works to its advantage. But sometimes, even for a drama show, the drama, too much drama, like hit after hit after hit.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of cringe at a point.
Yeah. Sometimes it comes off as a little try hard.
Yeah.
You know, there's not really anything added to kind of even things out. You know, even like the most serious stuff has like some form of like humor or dark humor or something to just kind of add a little levity to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no levity. You know.
Yeah.
And just kind of going hand in hand with what Brian said, even though I definitely do feel that Will did mature as a character, he's not quite 100%. He's not full circle yet. But I think that's why, you know, we'll see more of that as the seasons progress, depending on what happens next season. I also think that there's kind of inconsistencies, and this may be purposeful. There's kind of inconsistencies with Carlton's character. Sometimes he seems like he's developing. Other times he'll take like a handful of steps back. But like I said, I think they may be kind of doing that on purpose. You know, that might, you know, that might be, they might be in the midst of developing or an arc for him. So we'll see for next season. But I think that was mostly it for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What you got, Brian?
I didn't like what they did with Hillary this entire season. I didn't like her character development. It wasn't very much of a development at all.
The whiny girlfriend.
Yeah, just and we talk about maturity. Like you didn't get any maturity at all. I really didn't enjoy that as much. I thought Viv's artist kind of arc was blah. What was it? Wasn't as much. It could have been more. It could have been more, and I feel like it was just that. Phil has so many holes in him. Even as a father, like he has no stronghold. Like there's nothing about him that I feel comfortable with letting him be my cornerstone of my family. So like there's just issues that I feel that there too many tropes that are still around it that I don't necessarily enjoy watching or feeling that way about certain things. But it's still it's a drama. It has to have some problems. I just feel like they should have some redeeming qualities there, and sometimes I miss out on those.
Yeah,
and the characters that they don't focus on, they really don't focus on.
Yeah.
So Ashley's always a throw-in, no matter what's going on. She's just a throw-in.
Yeah.
They focus more on Jazz than Ashley in the entire season.
Wow. Yeah, I think. Yeah, really. I mean, between the two seasons, she was in like her own scenes, like 4 or 5 between 2 seasons. So yeah, and it sucks. It seems like though maybe going forward in season 3, that hopefully they do change Ashley a little bit more. But yeah. But anything else?
I mean, as far as bad, I just don't think it's not bad. It's a lot of drama. It's hard to see, and I just hope they have an end game in mind, and they'll just try to arrive at something. You should have an idea where you want these people to go. So because it's hard to, it's supposed to be arc. And I feel like too often we're getting ups and downs, which is very much reality, but it still has to get to somewhere. I don't want to get to season 3 and just kind of like what they just did now. Everything's back to where it was at the beginning of season 1. Carlton's a drug addict. Will and Lisa are back together. Like it's everything that happened in the season didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's just clean the slate and it's back to where it was. And I don't necessarily think that's a great answer. I hope it has somewhere to go. It has to go to something, and if it doesn't, then it might be. I mean, might not be as good as it could be. You have to get somewhere from it. you have to see the development in the people somewhere.
Yeah. That's because that's my biggest thing with it too was the growth of the characters. Like you know, I know like Brandon, you said like Will grew. I feel like if he did, it had to been very little bit. You know what I mean? But you know, like he went from like complaining, I don't get freedoms, I don't have this. I'm like, dude, like you don't get freedoms. What are you talking about, man? Like you are a kid in somebody else's house. Like what are you talking about, man? Like you get to drive their giant ass fucking like what was it? The Escalade or something like that, or whatever Cadillac or whatever.
Oh no, it had a sunroof, it had 26s on it,
massaging chairs and footrests in the back. I was like, dude, you get to drive that for free. No, man. Like, so like part of that is
Philly would never complain. Like, nah, bro.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you don't want me to talk to him? Cool. I don't know him. You know, it's like that's how it should be. You know, but like you said, like it has to be like that. But you know, but his development was like, oh, I kind of learned my lesson after it burned me. You know, like in season 1. You know, like every other time. You know, my biggest upset was Carlton, because I loved what he was becoming at the beginning of the season, and even to the middle of the season. Like he went up, like he stood up to the other dude that kept calling everybody out. I can't think of his name, but the one that Lisa started dating for a little bit. You know, he beat his ass, you know, and then he's like, oh, I got, you know, mental health issues and stuff like that.
And
I'm like, okay, cool.
And brought everyone together, and he was accepting himself, and then he went back into the drugs.
He regressed, relapsed,
relapsed, and it was just so like, I'm like, you were becoming somebody different, and you were becoming a voice of people that were in your situation, you know, at that school, you know, like being a rich black child, but put into like this white world kind of thing, you know what I mean? So, you know, and all the pressures that come with that, and all the microaggressions, all the bullshit, all that stuff, you know. So I was like, cool, he's gonna realize this and kind of become like that. But instead, it's like, nope. Remember how he was in season 1? We're gonna go back to that. I was like, what? You know,
exactly.
You know, especially when him and Connor started hanging out again. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all. I that's not an arc. You know, you know what it reminded me of Jamie Lannister. They're like, oh man, he's gonna have a good story. He's gonna have a good story. And at the end, no, he's gonna go back to season 1. I was like, what the fuck did why did I care about this guy if his end story was gonna be?
Why did I watch this? I don't understand why I watched this. Yeah,
you know, so I was like super pissed off with Carlton. Hopefully they fix it and he grows and becomes a different person. He becomes the person they think he should be, you know. But yeah, I mean, the whole doc thing was kind of cool, but it was also a little.
It was okay, but
you know,
I mean, it was definitely all AAU basketball type stuff, and that's stuff I know about those things, and cool, okay,
yeah. So I mean, it was cool, but it was also kind of like after a while, I was like, okay, he's not going to be the bad guy. Like I feel like, you know, and
his name was Drew.
Drew. That's right. You know, so there's some issues that like you need to fix, and then just by the end, like everyone has an issue. You know, especially Phil. I'm like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Being stupid.
You know, like
and now being that the cheating black man and not realize what you have at home and all that stuff. Those tropes I do not enjoy.
Like we find out he did it before in college. Yep. So with the same 2 women on top of that. It's like, come on, man. You know, so yeah. All that is just. I hope when push comes to shove, he makes the right choice. But right now, he ain't making right choices.
Yeah, knowing the show's packed with, he'll make the wrong decision.
Yeah, which would kind of suck, but
which is terrible. That means you have once again you don't have a positive black male in a show that's full of black people, and I hate that idea. And you know, as much as I'm enjoying the show, I think that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for drama so much that you can't have a positive black male in it.
Yeah. I think you need to have in a drama show like this, especially a drama show about a family.
You need to have that cornerstone.
Yeah, you need to have that rock, and it should be Phil. It should be Phil because one, to me, it's like you kind of want to honor James Avery as his Phil because like I saw a post today is like a video of like, oh, he was the perfect, or it still is the perfect TV dad. Was Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince.
Easily.
And I'm like, that alone should tell the showrunner that this Phil needs to be the rock. He needs to be the cornerstone of the family, and he's making a lot of bad choices. You know what I mean? So,
and we see it coming, and just like, dude, you come on, man, don't do this again.
Yeah.
And it's true, they're going to try to have him swerve and not make the mistake. But the fact that you're allowing the one person who should be to even get close and to not have that strong moral fiber is just very disheartening to me.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So and it 100% should be Uncle Phil. 100% should be Uncle Phil. So I like that. And then like you said, Ashley, that whole thing was just kind of it should have been better. But it just became like whiny girlfriend, insecure boyfriend, and then I don't know, like that's a lot of like drama, you know, like annoying drama, like
drama for the sake of drama is not a good thing. Drama for something that's actually happening that can explain the lives is good. But when you have drama for the sake of drama, I don't necessarily enjoy that.
Yeah, like when Will got all mad and he's like telling Jazz to go F off and getting mad at everybody. I was like, ugh. Like, that's when I got annoyed with him. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Once again, being a little petulant child, not being able to handle anything, and that's kind of what we got from him.
Yeah. But
anytime it gets hard and the focus is on him, he wants to be act out.
Yeah. I don't get my freedom. Like, you don't get no freedom, man. What are you talking about, man?
You are a child without a job. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay
and
with the
you're
man
living in a very, very nice town. Yeah,
exactly.
Very, very nice house, very nice location, great clothes. These people are giving you like more than enough money, like handing everything to you. What are you pissing and moaning about?
Yeah. Like, oh, you want to join this very expensive basketball team? Okay. You know, it's like, it took a couple no's, but, you know, finally he's like, all right, let's do it. But it was like, what?
Yeah. What? Yeah, you'll buster.
Yeah. So with that being said, let's get into our ratings. So we do things easy. Now, later, never. Now means you got to watch it all right now. Later means when you get a chance, and never means never watch it. Don't kill your brain cells. So what are you giving Bel-Air season 2? Brandon, why don't you start it?
I could probably give this a now. You know, I'm really enjoying the direction they're going with it. I really like the approach that they take. You know, even though there are some trip ups that I have with it right now, it definitely holds my attention.
Yeah.
You know, it keeps me kind of wondering what's going to happen next. You know, and the way the season ended, it really had me wanting more and wondering what happens next. And you know, we're gonna have to wait probably the higher part of another year.
Yeah,
I could give it a now. I could do a now for it.
Okay, Brian, what you giving it?
I enjoy watching it, so I don't want you to get me wrong, but I believe I'm going to give it a later because I hate the tropes that continue to follow.
Yeah,
like it really disheartens me because when you see, you know, there's already a lot of things you have for a black family that you to deal with. You know, the fact of the father not being home, you know, or even if the father's home, he's always looking the other way. Like it's never a strong male influence there, and those things bother me. The kids being kids are that happens. Kids are going to be kids, but not having those things, not being even in a drama series, still having that positive thing bothers me.
Yeah,
and
well, they do it with Viv. Viv is a very good mother, very good wife.
She's naive.
She's super naive.
So why? And there's no black woman I know that's that naive.
Yeah, almost
they are like the planners of all planners. Like they know everything that's going on. Like you know, you think they don't know? Come on.
Almost like she turns a blind eye.
Yeah. a lot of it.
Yeah, and that just doesn't matter what year of marriage. I've been married for almost 11 years. My wife is not naive. There's nothing about anything that she don't know about. And I just those tropes bother me a little bit, and that's why I want to give it a later, because it's not what you want from the Fresh Prince. Not that I need it to be positive all the time, but to have an overall positive view of a black family it's not just poor, not just coming from the ghetto, or not in those things. You still have a positive attitude that's saying they can get out of this. Why can't they have anything good coming from this family? So that's what's kind of giving me a later vibe for me.
Yeah. For that one. So I'm probably gonna give this a later, because I feel like you should watch this season right before season 3 drops. So season 3 comes out in like 2 months. Then you watch season 2, because it was good and I enjoyed it, but I feel like the way it all was kind of setting up bigger things later on. You know what I mean? Like it was okay, and just like I said earlier, no one really grew for me enough. You know what I mean? If anything, a lot of them is a lot of regression. With almost everybody. So, but there were some good things, that I did enjoy. The Jeffrey storyline was pretty cool, and stuff like that. So, but I'm gonna give it a later. But it's still good, fun watch. It had similar vibes of the first season, but I want to say the first season was still better.
I agree.
But this one wasn't too far behind. But I think this is definitely more of a, like, season 1 was season 1. It was its own thing. I feel like season 2 is setting up season 3. I know that sounds silly because 2 comes after 3, but
I understand exactly what you're saying. Like this whole thing, nothing actually happened from season 1 to season 2 to going to season 3. Nothing has changed.
Yeah,
everything that happened in season 1 is still happening going into season 3.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like season 3 could be the end, really, like you said, because there's a good chance it could be the end, or 4 seasons. So you start, since it's all back to square one almost. So season 3 might start the arc, and then season 4 will finish off whatever arc. So
I also feel like season 3 is senior year.
I think it's the summer. I think they made it set up like season 3 is going to be the summer, and then season 4 might be senior year. But I don't know how they're going to play it.
Because 10 episodes, it's a long time for summertime.
Yeah, I know, right? There's more episodes than there are weeks for summer. But either way, if they do season 3, I'm cool with that too. But anything else, guys?
No, I mean, it's fun. There's things that I wish we had more of. But it's still fun. I'm glad we got to talk it out and review this.
Yeah, it had a good ending. I had good payoffs at the end, which I appreciated. Let's see if it was on Rotten Tomatoes, because I know season 1 had pretty good ratings. Let's see, Bel-Air season 2, Rotten Tomatoes. We got 90% on the tomato meter. So, but only got 10 reviews. So that's not too bad.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly. And then the audience got 50 plus reviews. It's got 76, and
that's right.
I think I'm closer to that. Cool. Anything else, Brandon? You got it?
Pretty much it on my end.
Okay. All right. So we usually do these for the end of the season and kind of like review the entire season of shows. So Bel-Air, just finished probably 2-3 weeks ago, I think.
About 3 weeks ago.
So it would explain why I think was most of us gave it a later.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about Bel-Air season 2. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you in the middle? And where do you think it might go in season 3? Let us know what you think down in the comments. But if you're watching live, stick around. We're going to finish things up. If you're watching on replay, appreciate you guys coming in and checking us out. If it's your first time, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And you can join us every Monday and Wednesday. If you hit that bell, Monday and Thursday. if you hit that bell notification.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that and be part of the Spoiler King channel. And we're gonna do some giveaways once we hit that 1,000. So make sure you're part of the channel.
It's burning in my pocket. I can't wait to give it away.
Yeah. But that is it from us. We appreciate you guys, but we will see you guys in the next one.
Thanks, guys.